If you're looking to pick up pot in BC today, this is the only store in the province where you can do it legally. It's called the BC Cannabis Store and it's run by the government. We got a quick tour of the store this morning while a crowd of about 100 stood in line until the doors opened and they could go in and make their first legal purchases. Now, it's worth noting that some of the very first people who were in line work for cannabis companies, so they were only too happy to show off the products they bought.
Yeah, lemon skunk.
But there were plenty of other customers, and reviews were mixed.
Now that I can purchase it legally, my money will go to the government instead of going somewhere else.
It was really expensive, and it's really unorganized in there. It's not going to meet the needs of British Columbians, and it's going to keep the black market driving.
It's ironic in a province with a plethora of pot shops that there's only one legal store open today. A few that were operating have closed up because they were worried about being shut down, but most are still selling, waiting to be licensed. In the future, there will be public and private stores, but right now, anyone who wants to do their shopping legally will have to stand in this queue or go online to a government-run website. But one province over, there's much more choice.
Here in Alberta, the private sector is handling the legalization of pot, and across the province at 17 stores, people got in long lines like this one, trying to be some of the first to score weed legally here in Alberta.
We're the second country in the world to legalize marijuana countrywide, so it felt, I'm a part of history in a way. It's not every day you can say that.
Now, liquor stores in Alberta were privatized decades ago, and this pot shop is actually part of a chain that includes both weed and alcohol retailers. Now, several Nova cannabis stores opened in Alberta today, and the company's CEO hopes that is just the beginning.
There's 4 today that are opening, and we anticipate 32 more within a year.
Now, the key to that expansion, low prices aimed at taking market share from traditional illegal dealers. Well, very early days, but so far at least it seems to be working. The lines inside are still long and filled with satisfied customers. Dozens of private stores like this one are also waiting to open their doors. They should get the green light for that by the end of the month. But some provincial governments across the country have opted to take full control instead.
I'm in Halifax, where they have been lined up down the street and around the corner. Now, here in Nova Scotia, the retail cannabis experience is a little bit unique. The government, which owns all of the stores, has this standalone store where people can buy cannabis. But most customers in this province will buy their marijuana in the same building where they buy their alcohol, albeit in an adjacent room. If anyone thought there was a stigma around being seen buying pot, well, that is apparently not expected to be an issue here. In a province where it turns out people apparently really like to smoke marijuana.
I went for one of everything.
Fact is, Nova Scotia has the highest rate of cannabis consumption of any province in Canada. 23% of residents have reported using cannabis in this province in the previous 3 months, according to Statistics Canada. Of course, that begs the question, how much pent-up demand will there be for cannabis here in this province? No one really knows that, but consider this. The Nova Scotia Liquor Corporation wanted to have about 300 products for sale today. It only has about a third of that.
We're working really hard. We're honestly doing our best to get as much product here as we can, as are the licensed producers. It's a process.
The armored trucks carrying cannabis have been unloading here over the last few days, but get this, NSLC's current supply is only expected to last them about 3 weeks.
Here in Regina, the supply put a bit of a damper on the day. If you were hoping to take part in the excitement of buying legal cannabis in one of the province's major centers, this is what you came across: locked doors. That's because some of the province's private retailers simply didn't have enough pot or weren't ready for day one. And those that did open are upping their prices.
It's supply and demand, right? And I think that it's just like any market. The market is the market, and when there's not a lot of product, the price goes up.
Too expensive. We'll wait, see if the price comes down.
It's just a matter of time before everything gets up and rolling and going.
That will be up to each retailer to decide once they think they have enough supply to meet demand.